She loved her horses, sand-colored heat lightning, horses with mean streaks and dreams in their eyes. She loved her horses with bone and flesh patterns. Horses were weeping, others gave soulful cries. Horses were weeping, others gave soulful cries. Will we remember when she falls to the floor? Doesn't breathe anymore, doesn't breathe anymore. Will we remember when she falls to the floor? Doesn't breathe anymore, doesn't breathe anymore. She was raised on the black earth and she was a farmer. Had a long line of grandmas with mountains for backs. She could gather the chicken.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Fibrista Files. Today is Saturday, March 4th, 2017. I'm your host, Heather, also known as Boutros Babe on Ravelry. That's pretty much it. And Fibrista Files on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me this podcast on iTunes, on Internet Archive, on the blog, thefiberistafiles.com, under Highland Handmades on YouTube, all over the web. And you can find the shop at shop.highlandhandmades.com. So, hi, it's been a while. I know I am getting back into the swing of things, but I am not yet at full speed. I'm not going to apologize, but I'm happy to be here with you now. As I said, it's March 4th, so I just last weekend had the NETA SPA event, which is the New England Textile Association. I think that's what NETA stands for. Anyway, their spa event is held every year at the third week in February, which is the end of February vacation for those people who don't have spring break. Down in Freeport, Maine at the Hilton Garden Inn. It's a lovely, lovely event. It continues to get really good foot traffic. I think maybe it grows a little bit every year. I don't have hard numbers on that. It's a free event, so there's no admission, so it's not like they sell a certain number of tickets. But it feels like very good positive energy, and always feels like I see some new faces every year, so that's awesome. It's also the first show of the year, so my show season has started. It's always really fun to go to spa because it's been all winter of snow and cold and white. And not only do I get to see and hang out with my friends who I haven't seen since, October, but I also get to see color, which is so nice. Like you walk in to the Hilton Garden Inn's conference room where everybody is, and it just slaps you in the face with color. It's so lovely to see after this horrible winter. I mean, I work with color all the time, but it's not just my colors, it's everybody's colors. Traditionally, I've been in the same spot every year, and that spot's right next to Spunky Eclectic, whom I adore. Amy is a wonderful human being and is very funny, and I love vending next to her. Since the first year, have not destroyed her booth with mine. And it's been really great. So, I did have somebody new helping me set up the booth this time, and his name's Brian. He did a wonderful job. Really wonderful job. I mean, the boy, got a wet paper towel and, was scrubbing the old dirt off of my banner from last year just so that it looked better. He has done trade shows in the past. When he was younger, he used to do, metal work. He would make metal sculptures and sell those at trade shows. So, although he's not in the knitting end of things, he is familiar with how trade shows work and the setup and the booth organization and all that. So, that was really nice. He had to leave, unfortunately. He had a funeral he had to attend to in Ohio on Monday. So, he left Saturday morning, but it was really nice to have some help setting up the booth and trying out a couple new things. It was great. So I'm sure there will be pictures of the booth either at the beginning of the podcast when the music's rolling or at the end. So feel free to check those out. And yeah, I'm back. It's show season. My next event is the Maine Spinners Registry meeting, which is in Gardner at the high school, March 18th, which is a Saturday. I think it's in 2 weeks. Yep, roughly. And that is from 10 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon. Come hang out. It's so much fun. It's a great socializing event, and it's an event that I bring my wheel to and actually can sit and spin for a little while. That doesn't happen very often. Someday I will have a Woolly Winder electric wheel. That's my goal. And then I will be able to take that everywhere, but for now I just have the Gromski and it's not really transportable. So it's always nice to go home to Gardner. That's where I'm from. That's where I grew up. It's the high school I went to. So I go and stay at my parents' overnight on Friday and then go to the show on Saturday and then head north from there. So that's fun. Let's talk about some knitting and some spinning. I am going to apologize here. I have not been crafting all that much. Combination of starting the show prep and I'm not here at the house 100% of the time. I'm out basically for a long weekend, pretty much every weekend now. And it's just almost all of the projects that I'm knitting right now are not good travel knitting. They're not good mindless knitting. They are designs that need to be worked on. They are lacework shawls. They are things with charts. They are things that are complicated. And I find that when I am not home, I don't want complicated. I just want easy. So I started and finished a project. I don't know if I'd started these the last time I podcasted or not, but they're done. I am also going to apologize because I wore these, but I haven't washed them yet, so they're a little dirty. These are some socks that I made out of my Highland Handmades Mountain Maple sock. This is the Zwei colorway. All of the Mountain Maple sock yarns are dyed twice. So this one is dyed like a saffron yellow and then over dyed in a green. And it's really not, the color is not true. Let me do the autofocus and see if that helps here. It's a speckly green and yellow. You really can't tell. Our light in Maine in winter is very blue, which is why if I'm going to photograph yarn and fiber, I have to do it in the morning because by the time noontime hits, the light gets too blue and it's difficult to photograph well or accurately. So it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon here, so colors aren't accurate. Here's the other sock. I have 2 of them. They're done. I knit those on a US 2, which is my standard needle, which is I think it's a 2.75 millimeter, 60 stitches instead of 64 because it is a thicker yarn. There was plenty of yarn left. I probably could have made a third sock, even though the Mountain Maple sock only has 325 yards or 320 yards per skein. There's plenty there because it's a thicker, almost a sport weight. But those were brainless, mindless, stockinette sock, my usual recipe, toe up, wrap and turn heel with no gusset because I hate gussets, with a fiery passion. And 12 rows of 1x1 ribbing at the top. And then the Elizabeth Zimmerman sewn bind off, easy as pie. The other thing that I've been working on is actually not knitting. It's crochet. I think I did talk about this last time, but it has grown considerably since last time, so I'm going to show you. I've been putting stitch markers in, not in the place where I last podcasted because I haven't been podcasting so infrequently, but every 20 rows, or, you know, I guess it's a row. So this is my crocheted Afghan. It's a granny stripe blanket is the name of the pattern, and I believe I have that on my Ravelry. I was posting pictures every day and then I kind of got away from it, so here's how much I have. You can see there the bottom is still kind of screwy, but I kind of figured it out here after a while. And based on my stitch markers, which all the ends are over here, I haven't woven them in. I might just, they're all tied off and I may just cut them, I don't know. We'll see. Let me just count really quick to see if I have another 20 here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Oh, yeah. So I've done 20, 40, 60, probably about 70 rows. And each row, each color I do for 2 rows. So you can see like that aqua that's in there. I did that for 2 rows. So that's that. I have repeated a couple of these colors, but not in a way I think that's super obvious. And I'm keeping it in a shoebox because it's big right now. Again, transportable is not really my thing. And these are some of the yarns that I'm using, and there aren't any right now, but you can see, there's room for more up here. Some of them I used up, so I pulled them out. And I will put more in there as I go. I'm using Yarn vs. Zombies right now in the Colorophobia colorway, which is a gray and then a rainbow kind of, but it's like a variegated. So gray stripe and then a rainbow stripe, but it's very muted. I love it. I made the Clown in My Closet socks out of those. So that's fun. And these are all just leftover sock yarn. I'm using Progress Keepers from Owls on Dante's to keep track of how many like 20s I get. 20, 40, 60, whatever rows. And I'm enjoying this. It is mindless. It is something I can take with me. It's kind of a bigger lap project now. See, you're going to see as I try to fold this up and put it away. It's slightly bigger than, super portable. But if I'm sitting down for a while, I can put it in my lap and bang out 3 or 4 rows. I'm getting really, really good at that double crochet, which, if nothing else, this is a double crochet skill builder because it's done like 176 times or 172 times, something ridiculous every row. So I've been doing that quite a bit. I'm enjoying it. It feels quick. Although I realize the blanket is nowhere near done, it still feels quick. You feel like you're making progress quickly. The goal for that is the equivalent of 1 stripe a day. So today is March 4th, so that's 31 and 28. You know what? Why don't I just get a calculator? I'm probably a little bit behind, but I hope to work on it today and get that caught up. So 31 days in January, 21 days in February, and 4 days in March. I should be at 63. So I'm still at least 10 rows ahead. That's fabulous. That's good. The goal is to get it done by my birthday. That's in the end of June. We'll see. I have been doing a little bit of spinning. Very little and very inconsistently, but I have been spinning. So the first thing I'm spinning is some 4 ounces of mixed BFL from Maine Yarn and Fiber Supply. This is also known as One Lupin. They're a local yarn store in Bangor. My friend Jody runs it and owns it, and she is amazing. And you may have heard of One Lupin or Maine Yarn Fiber and Supply, Maine Yarn and Fiber Supply from the Fiber Trek podcast, because Sarah is also very good friends with Jody, and they do a lot of awesome projects together. So it's all blues and greens with a little bit of brown popped in there, and of course there's the mixed BFL in there as well. I divided it all up into how did I do it? Quarters, and then half of those get quartered again. Like I divided it up so that they're all like there's a big bump and a little bump. And you need one big bump and 2 little bumps on each bobbin. So like 1 ounce and 2/3 or something. And then I'm going to do a 3-ply instead of a Navajo ply. I'm going to do traditional 3-ply for the yarn. I don't expect a whole lot of yardage from that, but I just wanted to do something a little bit different and make a traditional 3-ply as opposed to the Navajo ply. The other thing I'm spinning was, I was hoping to get it done for spa. That didn't happen, obviously. But I'm really enjoying it. I had 2 fleeces processed at the Aroostook Fiber Mill, which is up in Ashland, via Jody, who let me put my fleece in with her fleece. And I got back some gorgeous roving. This is some black Shetland. It's a fawn, not a fawn, it's a lamb fleece. So it's the first shearing, and it's as natural black as you can get. It's obviously not super jet black like you would if you dyed it. More of a brown black, but it's really, really lovely. I got a heck of a deal on that, and it made gorgeous, gorgeous fiber. And then I purchased a Tunis fleece. That is spider legs. That is crazy. It's funny what you find in a fleece. I purchased the tunis at Maryland Sheep and Wool last year and was going to process it myself, and then I'd done the Clen Forest and wasn't really happy with the way I was processing it myself, so I decided for the tunis to send it up to a Rustic, and I got back this lovely luscious, fluffy fiber. So I have, these are less than 50 grams each. I put them all up into 50-gram balls. 2-ounce balls, so it's like 58 grams each. And this is what I had left over. So I plan on spinning these each up into a 2-ply so that I have a sample of the yarn that you can make from the fiber, so you have an idea what it looks like. These will be coming with me to Plyaway. I have 20 balls of the Black Shetland and 15 balls of the Tunis, I think. I did sell some at Spa, so that might not be entirely accurate, but those are both wonderful to spin. I'm really enjoying them. They're a little bit fuzzy. There's some occasional like pills or, you know, veggie matter and stuff like that, but it's really just fun to spin. I like the rustic woolly wools. You know, Superwash BFL is lovely, spins like butter, but doesn't feel like wool. Like, not like a traditional, you know. So, I've started the fiber. That's what happens when you're in your studio. You get fibers in your water. Sorry. I started the Black Shetland. I have not spun the Tunis yet. So, that's that. Okay. That's what I've been spinning and knitting. Let me talk about a little bit what I've been dyeing. I did a limited edition colorway for Spa. My friend Leanne at Owls on Dante's is making me stitch markers, and we're going to do this all year. So every show I go to, every big show, not the MSR meeting, but every big show I go to, Plyaway and Fiber Frolic and my retreat and all of these will all have a limited edition colorway that is only for that show and a corresponding stitch marker or progress keeper to go with it. So, of course, me being the entirely organized person that I am, I forgot the stitch markers at home. So I didn't put the yarn and fiber colorways up. A couple people knew about them and bought them, but the rest is up in the shop now. So I'm going to show you what it is and show you the stitch marker. And if you want these, you don't have to have been at Spa to get them, because you can just get them at the shop. So the colorway is called Winter Blues, and it says Spa 2017 on it. And it's a kettle dyed blend of light aqua and dark blues. That's my friend Shira. That Jawa sound is going to happen 18 times because that's how Shira texts me. Just ignore. I also did it in fiber. This is Superwash BFL. Same blues. And the stitch marker is this really cute, it's a progress keeper. So it has a lobster claw so you can open and close it. And it, let me do the autofocus here. Hang on, I've got a plan. So there it is. It says I Heart Knitting, and it's a scarf with some knitting needles on it. So when you buy the yarn or the fiber, you get the progress keeper for free, and I ship that all right up to you. I do owe 3 people stitch markers, but I have, I believe, 6 skeins of the yarn. Nope, I have, I think, 4 skeins of the yarn left and all 3 braids of the fiber left. So, and of course the stitch markers that go with them as well. So if you want to get those, you should do it. Owls on Dante's stuff is amazing. I use her stitch markers all the time and her progress keepers all the time. They were goodies in my club not too long ago, and her work is really fantastic, and she ships really fast. So check out Owls on Dante's on Etsy if you haven't, in case you don't know how to spell that. It is Owls on Dante's. OWLSONDANTES. She does ship out of Canada, so just know that that's a thing. That's true. Okay. Other things I've been dyeing. Of course, I just did show prep. So I did a whole bunch of stuff. Everything is in the shop, but I have obviously not shown you guys here on the podcast. So I thought today I would simply show you the Superwash BFL so that the next time I podcast, I have something else to show you. Look at that for planning. Okay, so Superwash BFL. I have several each of this. This is Country Lane. It's a butter yellow and a dark chocolate brown. Bright's Rainbow, which you have seen before. Bright yellow, bright pink, and aqua blue. Winter Wheat, which is a much softer colorway. Very soft baby blue, gold, and then a lot of undyed. Cosmos, which is a direct dye. It is hard to show you. There we go. Pink, purple, navy blue, some regular blue, and lots of undyed. It's sort of like a galaxy kind of thing. Blood Spatter, which I've done in yarn but not done on fiber before. This is like a mustardy yellow, and it's like splashed with red after, hence the term blood splatter. Girls Like Football 2, which is a nice soft blue and some pink. Yes, I realize that this does not the colors of a team. It's supposed to be like a feminized Patriots or Giants or Bills or whatever. It's sort of a red, white, and blue take. So it's a softer blue and a pink instead of a red. But girls like football too. Psst. I'm wearing those colors today, actually. And then I also have Walking on the Sun, which is another direct dye. So it's kind of crazy and spotty and speckly. And it's done in like pumpkin and saffron and dark green, olive, a whole bunch of rusty colors. This is an excellent gender neutral colorway. And I believe somebody spun it up not long ago and put a photo of it in the show and tell thread in my Ravelry group, which is Highland Handmades. So check that out if you want to see how it looks spun up. It's very Barber Pole. It was great. Okay. The other thing I want to show you, actually, you know what? I'll keep those for grabby hands. So let's not go too far with that. I'm sorry if the camera just shifted. I hit the cord. What else do we have? Growth and processes. I don't have a whole lot for growth, to be completely honest. It's actually my word of the year for 2017 is grow. I need to be more strategic about my growth, especially where I'm going to be building a house this year with a studio. Like, things need to be bigger than they've been thus far. My bills are very small here, and I can afford to live sort of a frugal lifestyle. That's not going to cut it for me to have a studio and to do some of the bigger shows that I want to do. So there will be things coming down the pike, growth things, specialty colorways, giveaways. Sales are bad business, so I don't plan on doing a whole lot of sales, but I may give out coupon codes for like free shipping or things like that for specific events. I'm planning on bringing a whole bunch of new products in, not just new bases, but also ancillary things. So stitch markers and the shawl gems that you'll see in grabby hands, you know, some keychains, stuff like that. So be on the lookout for that. And yeah. Now that I know the quality of work that a Rustic Fiber Mill does, I will also be doing more fiber, local fiber, undyed, natural roving, and yarn. They did some yarn for me that I'm not going to show you this week, but man, is it gorgeous. I just love everything they do. And they're very affordable, and they have quick turnaround. They're lovely. So, processes this week. I don't know that I have a process for you guys. I know that process is usually the first section that goes on this podcast because I never know what you want to know. So if there's something you want to know about, will you tell me in the comments or message me directly or something like that? I would love to explain to you how I do things, but I don't know what you need to know. I will show you really quick on my bullet journal here. I have a list of all of my yarn bases, both what I call them, what the manufacturer calls them, and then how many turns they are on my Swift so that I know how much yardage there is. I have the same thing over here on a whiteboard, but it's just a little bit easier to hang on to it in my notebook. What else do I have that's worth showing you? I have a list of the shows that I was hoping to do this year and when they are, whether or not I've applied, whether or not I was accepted, how much the booth fee was, when the deadline is to apply. Some of these are the same weekend. So SAF and my retreat are the same weekend. So unfortunately, SAF is out for this year. Knit East and Rhinebeck are also the same weekend. So I've applied to Rhinebeck. If I get into Rhinebeck, I will go there. But that's really unlikely, so I will most likely be at Knit East this weekend. So unfortunately, I'm not going to get to Rhinebeck again this year. So that's that. Those are all in the beginning of my bullet journal. This bullet journal is Leuchtturm 1917. And primarily I use a fiber-covered Retro Pop Metropolitan with a fine nib. I have some other ones. I have a Lamy Safari as well, but this one is my primary pen. I like a fine nib when I write. Okay. Grab your hands, and then I'm going to get you out of here because my laundry is just about dry at the laundromat. I'm going to have to go grab it. We have been totally spoiled this winter. It has been so warm and lovely, and then today happened, and it's 9 degrees outside. It's awful. I'm a total baby about it. Like, we have had several 50-degree days in February. Unheard of. We just don't get that kind of weather in February. But, no, today is much more seasonable. Joy. Really, I mean, the sunshine is lovely. You can tell, like, I look like powder because it's very bright in here. And I love that. However, I prefer my sunshine to come with a dose of heat. Okay, so grabby hands. Really quick, I want to show you the only thing I got at SPA, and it was something that I traded for. This is Targhee Classic, so it's 100% Targhee wool. This is from Spunky Eclectic. They're 995 yards each, so I got about 400 yards. This colorway is the 2017 specialty colorway from Spunky Eclectic. It's called Pajama Party. It's so fun. So fun. She has this colorway done up on all kinds of bases. Yarn, fiber, sparkle, regular sock, extra chunky, the whole everything. But I really liked it on the Targhee. That may be because it's reskein and I just like the way the colors lined up. But Targhee takes dye very well in a really saturated, rich way. And I loved the way it looked. So I'm thinking this may become another cattywampus hat, since my first cattywampus hat was stolen and my other one's hand spun. And possibly some mitts. Or maybe a different hat. Do you have a better hat than cattywampus that you think would be nice? I like it to be a little slouchy. Maybe a gram? I've knit the gram before, but I gave that hat away for charity. So maybe I'll knit a gram out of it. I really like this yarn. It's so pretty. And then the other grabby hands are things that I had at SPA. They are made from my bestie Katie's mom. Made by my friend Katie's mom. You've heard me talk about shawl gems or Tix trinkets before. So this is what they are. They are little clips with beads in the middle. And these clips connect to like the edge of your shawl or a cardigan if you wear your cardigan over your shoulder or things like that to keep them in place. So they're kind of like sweater tamers. And I have all kinds of these. Some are large and metal. This is like a copper. Some are small and beads like you saw. Some are neutral. Some have bright colors. I'm trying to find you one that looks a little bit different. Some are more sort of feminine. Some of them are more fun. I really like that blue one. So these are all each $10. And some will be up in my shop. I will be taking them with me to other shows. I'm going to have them with me at Plyaway. These things sold like hotcakes at SPA. I was so excited that people were excited about them. Tix Trinkets website, if you're interested in seeing what she's got. Her name's Terry. That's Katie's mom. It's tixtrinkets.etsy.com. So TIXTRINKETS.etsy.com. And she has tons of stuff. She's got steampunk ones. She has pendants. She has larger gems that have sayings on them. She has all kinds of stuff. The bigger stuff all sold almost immediately. So I've got a lot of the smaller stuff left. But some of these are going to go into the shop. And if they sell, I'll keep sticking them up there. And they will go with me to shows and stuff. Katie gave me this fancy little box. There's joy to be found in every single day. I don't know if that's true, but yeah, she gave me some, I don't know what she got. It's probably got at Michael's or something. But I thought that was cute, so I don't know why I'm showing you. I'm home alone this weekend. I have not been home alone since New Year's. Well, not on the weekend. I'm home alone every day because I work from home. But this weekend stuff is for the birds. Let me tell you, drill weekend is not my idea of a good time. Just saying. So that's pretty much where I think I will leave it for now. Please let me know in the comments or via direct message or email if there's a process that you'd like to know about, whether it's a dyeing process or business related. Please don't ask me what dyes I use or how I dye specific colorways. That's just rude. But anything else, go ahead and ask. If you have any burning questions, I'm happy to answer them. That's kind of the point of the podcast. Don't forget to check the shop regularly. I'm putting stuff up all the time. I believe I am going to be restocking Over the Rainbow either Monday or Tuesday. So if you're down in the Rockland area, let me know, and I will see you there, or you can see my stuff there. It's up to you. That's what I've got for now, I guess. So I'm glad that I'm back here doing this. Hopefully it will not be another month and a half before I do this again. Until next time, guys, happy spinning for... Oh my gosh, I don't even know how to do this anymore. Until next time, happy spinning and knitting, and thanks for tuning in.
Gather the chickens and chop all their heads off. Life for a life and red blossoms to dust. Life for a life and red blossoms to dust. Well, we remember when she falls to the floor. Doesn't breathe anymore. Doesn't breathe anymore. Well, we remember when she falls to the floor. Doesn't breathe anymore. Doesn't breathe anymore. She wore feathers and seaweed to show who her friends were. She hummed to the butterflies that followed her home. She climbed Bald Rock Mountain, took all her clothes off, cried, "Mama, can you make sure that I do not stray?"